Mud farms in Minecraft have a problem.
Fill up the dispenser.
And that is filled with glass bottles, so
entirely with glass bottles.
These hoppers with glass bottles.
Now I have no problems funding glass, but over 10 stacks seems unnecessary and just isn't viable for mass production. Some designs do include a sorter taking the number down, but standard sorters are bulky and awkward. I have the solution. This is Minecraft's cheapest mud farm, using only 11 glass bottles.
And there goes the entire production value.
You've wasted enough time watching that cringe intro I spent 3 hours making, so let's start off the tutorial. These are the materials you'll need. There is a slight deviation between the Bedrock and Java designs, and the Java one actually needs even fewer bottles. I'll cover the Bedrock version now, and Java players can skip to the timestamp on screen. I'll demonstrate the Bedrock design on the Savoya MCPE, totally for survival accuracy and not because I'm a show-off. For this farm, you'll need a space that is 4 blocks wide, 5 blocks long, and total of 4 blocks tall, but it will only occupy an area of 3 blocks above where you'll be standing to place the mud. We'll start with the system that involves the bottles. Place a dispenser in this position at the back, a hopper going to this position, and a dispenser on top of that hopper facing towards the front of the farm, and the hopper going into the side of that dispenser. Place a comparator here, a solid block, a piece of redstone dust, and a repeater heading into that hopper. Place an observer with the face towards the front, and a solid block behind that next to the dispenser. Now for the front where the mud will be getting placed, place 2 redstone dust here, a solid block, a repeater going into that solid block, and a redstone dust on top of that solid block, and block off this redstone with another solid block. Place a piston on top of that repeater, a repeater going into where the piston is facing. Now you have to power this repeater. Place a comparator facing into the side of the repeater, a composter or any storage block, and add an item inside such that it will lock the repeater. Now you can remove the power source and the repeater will continue to power this block. For the rest of the item transportation system, place blocks in this formation such that at the top of the farm there's this small L shape. Now fill these 2 blocks with water to form a water stream from this dispenser over to the hopper. Now take your 11 glass bottles, fill all of them up except for 2. Place 1 in this dispenser, 2 in this hopper alongside your 4 filler items, and the rest of the water bottles in the dispenser facing into the mud. And now the mud farm is complete. Now for the Java design. For the Java design, you will need a 4x5 area and about 4 blocks above ground level, totaling 5 blocks tall. Starting with the bottle system, place a dispenser facing up here, a hopper going into the dispenser, a dispenser on top of that hopper, and a hopper on top of that dispenser. Place a comparator out of the bottom dispenser, a solid block in front of that, a piece of redstone dust, and a solid block between the redstone dust and the hopper. On the other side of the hopper, place an observer with the face facing towards the front of the farm, and a solid block between the observer and the dispenser. Now for the front of the mechanism, place 2 redstone dusts in this area, a redstone repeater on 3 ticks going into this solid block. Place another solid block on top of this redstone dust, a piece of redstone dust here, and a piston on top of the repeater facing in front of the dispenser. Now for the powering mechanism, place a repeater going into where the mud would go, power that repeater, place a comparator going into the side of the repeater, and from the comparator, place a composter or any storage block and fill that storage block such that it will power and lock the repeater. Now you can remove the power source and the repeater will stay locked and powering. Now to finish off the farm, place glass in this formation. A trapdoor here. A trapdoor here. Fill up 3 blocks of water within the glass such that it flows from the dispenser into the hopper. Place 2 trapdoors on the back of the dispenser and hopper here. And now place a glass bottle in this dispenser, 2 glass bottles in the hopper at the bottom hopper, along with the 4 filler items, and fill the other 4 bottles with water and place them in. Fill up those 4 water bottles and place them into the top dispenser. And finally, top off your farm with 2 glass blocks over the water stream. And now your mud farm is complete. The way this farm works is quite simple. When you place a dirt block here, the dirt gets powered, powering the dispenser which turns it into mud, and this redstone line. The repeater delays the signal to the piston, allowing time for the dirt to be converted before the piston pushes. At the same time, the observer detects that the redstone line turned on and fires the water bottle in this dispenser into the item stream. Since the dispenser is now empty, the comparator turns off, unlocking the hopper for just enough time to allow 1 empty bottle to funnel into the dispenser. When the piston pushes the mud away, the redstone deactivates, triggering the observer again and filling the water bottle, completing the cycle. The difference between the Bedrock and Java designs is due to some strange timing issue that manifests when I use a repeater delay to lock the hopper, such that if I keep placing mud, that happens. It's fixed by simply replacing the repeater with a block. The hopper will still get locked, but it does mean I can no longer place a hopper on the side here because it would get locked by this block and water bottles would stop flowing into this dispenser at the correct rate. So not only do I have to move the water stream upwards, Java items also move way faster, meaning we have to cap off the water flow so that the items don't fly everywhere. But due to this faster speed, the Java design can actually get away with only 4 bottles in this dispenser as opposed to 8 on Bedrock. So now you have a machine that creates mud from dirt. What's next? The most basic addition you can do is align like pistons like this, which pushes the mud into a slab that you can easily mine out. You can also place dripstone underneath the slab to turn into clay, just like Anaconda from the intro. But there is also a neat design by Potato Noah to convert more clay from a single output. So you can check out his tutorial, which I believe should work on both versions. Extra note, you have to clear this piston when it reaches the limit because both hoppers will get locked. And that will be it for my mud farm tutorial. If you think this design deserves attention, tell the algorithm gods by liking and sharing the video. And subscribe if you want to clutter your subscription feed with a creator who uploads the most inconsistent, randomest shit.